Hi everyone, it's Allison. I'm in my violin studio, and today I want to talk a little bit about vibrato. Mostly what I want to talk about in this clip is possible problems and considerations to think about. I assume I'm making an executive decision. There are lots of videos about vibrato on the internet, so I figure people are asking me for help. It's because there's something interfering, because a lot of those videos are, I think, quite good. So what could be causing your problems? I think the big number one answer is tension. In order to be able to do vibrato, you have to have, this is where it gets fun, you need to have fingers that are neutral. Okay, not, you know? When most people pick up a violin in the early days, what they do is something like this. Okay, from here, I don't know if you can see, that would be something like, and from the top, more like, okay, there's the clamp down. You can't vibrate if you're doing that. So you have three spots. One, the palm comes up, two, the fingers squeeze down, and three is the thumb presses in. And this is like the unholy trio of tension in the left hand. So you have to solve that. I think often there is a misunderstanding about, one, how to hold a violin, and two, how to put your fingers on the fingerboard. So number one, how to hold a violin. I think the short answer is you don't hold it. You support it a little bit, but you don't want to be holding it. We need the thumb to be able to slide, right? You see how my thumb is sliding? I'm not holding my fingers, because if I am, then the thumb can't slide anywhere, right? That's really important. So it's simply touching along the side, but it's not, there's no force exerted. Okay. On this side, something that people will do is sometimes, maybe it's easier to see that with a violin. If you can see, no contact here. Usually if you're playing, if your hand is sticking out like this, then you have to, you end up exerting a lot of pressure on the fingers, and you can't vibrate in that position. You're also going to be playing really horribly out of tune, because the hand has no reference to know where it is on the instrument. Really, really important, the knuckle, or the joint here at the base of the index, needs to be in contact all the time, until you get up to about fourth position and you come around to the side of the instrument. Okay, but in first position, always, 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 don't let this come out. There may be, and once you get into vibrato, there may be times when you don't want it to be snug, but you still need to loosely feel where you are. Okay, so that's that. Then, finger action, you say, well, if all I do is do, I don't like my angle. Okay, let's try this. If all I do is dunk, that's not exerting enough force on the string. I'm not stopping the string properly. I'm not going to get a clean note. Well, actually, there are ways of doing this, because, 500 years of violin playing says it can be done. So, watch. If I just put my fingers down like that, I've got no, I'd have to go to get any pressure, right? So, bring your hand in closer. Curl the fingers. Now, just drop a finger. Okay, so I did not push the finger down. I did not apply any pressure. All I'm doing is I have a curved finger, and I'm going to drop it. Drop. Okay, now I'm not exerting any force. And if somebody comes along, they can go boop really easily, because all it's doing is sitting there. And again, you say, yes, but that's not going to be a sharp, clean note if it's inadequate for the purpose. And keep in mind that most notes go by pretty quickly, and you don't really need to exert a whole lot of force on them. But if you do, there are two solutions. Where's a good angle? One is keep the back of your hand close And now, see how if I lean my hand in, the hand is pushing the finger down a little bit. Okay, so the muscle in my finger is completely neutral. The muscle in the finger is not doing anything. This is why I always tell my students, and it's a joke, but it's not a joke. In my studio, you learn how to play the violin without fingers. We don't use fingers. The fingers are transmissions, but always your energy and the direction comes from further up the arms. Okay, and I think, you know, certainly if you read Galamian or, you know, go to master classes with, that's very consistent. You don't want your fingers to be actively doing stuff because those individual muscles tend to be weak and they get exhausted and they slow you down and they're inexact. It's not a good way of playing the violin. So try. Just hold your hand, and the only thing that moves is this row of, that's not really clear. Okay, this row of joints. This is the only thing that moves. But now this flat is not a good shape, so let's put our fingers in a useful curve. You can drop it, you can pull it back, drop, snap it back, drop, snap it back. That's basically all you want your fingers to do. And if you've watched some of my other videos, you might notice that I'm always obsessing, I'm always harping on how you have to pivot your arm, right? Well, that's because if the only thing you're going to do to place your finger is drop, then that finger's got to be in the right spot, or else you're not going to be on the right string, right? So, do you want to be there? Drop. Or do you want to be there? Drop. Okay, so when we do this, your hand is now really, really neutral. And you can, when your hand is neutral, you can get this kind of motion that you need for vibrato. Okay, so I will do a separate video clip on finger action and some exercises that may be useful if that's a direction. If you haven't worked on that before, and if you think you have any tension in your hand, stop worrying about vibrato and address the tension, because that's it's really critical.